Imagine you're out on a lake in the dead of night. The stars are out, but the wind's picking up, and the waves are starting to rock your little boat. You're tired, maybe a little scared. That's where we find a group of men, fishermen by trade, in a story that's been told for centuries. It's a story about fear, faith, and a moment when one man dared to step out into the impossible. This is the story of Peter walking on water, straight out of Matthew chapter 14 in the Bible. Let's dive in. It's around 3 a.m., and the disciples, Jesus' closest followers, are out on the Sea of Galilee. They're in a wooden fishing boat, the kind they know like the back of their hands. These guys are tough, seasoned fishermen, used to handling rough waters. But tonight, the wind's howling and the waves are relentless. They've been rowing for hours, fighting the storm, and they're exhausted. Jesus isn't with them. He sent them out on the lake earlier that evening while he went up a mountain to pray alone. Picture this. It's pitch dark, the boat's creaking, and the disciples are probably wondering, why did Jesus send us out here? They're stuck, making no progress against the wind. Maybe some of them are thinking about giving up. They're not just physically tired, they're mentally drained, maybe even questioning if they're alone in this mess. Then, out of nowhere, they see something that makes their hearts stop. There's a figure moving toward them, walking on the water. Not swimming, not in a boat, but walking like the lake's a solid road. The disciples freeze. Their eyes go wide. In those days, people didn't know much about science, but they knew one thing for sure. Humans don't walk on water. They think it's a ghost, some kind of spirit coming to haunt them. They start shouting, terrified, gripping the sides of the boat. But then, a voice cuts through the wind, clear and calm. It's Jesus. He says, "Take courage. It's me. Don't be afraid." Can you imagine the relief? The guy they've been following, the one they've seen do miracles, is right there, defying the laws of nature. But he's not just showing off. He's coming to them in the middle of their storm, telling them to chill out, that he's got this. Now here's where things get interesting. Peter, one of the disciples, speaks up. Peter's the impulsive one, the guy who's always ready to jump in head first, for better or worse. He shouts, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you on the water." Think about that for a second. The boat's rocking, the storm's raging, and Peter's like, "Let me try that." It's bold, maybe even a little crazy. But Jesus doesn't hesitate. He looks at Peter and says, "Come." So Peter does it. He steps out of the boat, his feet touch the water, and miraculously, he doesn't sink. He's walking on water just like Jesus. One step, then another, his eyes fixed on Jesus. The waves are still crashing, the wind's still screaming, but Peter's doing the impossible. For a moment, he's defying everything he's ever known about the world. It's a moment of pure faith, the kind that makes you hold your breath. But then, something happens. Peter starts to notice the storm again. The wind's whipping his face, the waves are surging around him, and he takes his eyes off Jesus. Doubt creeps in. "What am I doing out here?" he thinks. "This is crazy." And just like that, he starts to sink. The water's swallowing his legs, pulling him down. He panics and cries out, "Lord, save me!" Jesus doesn't let him drown. He grabs Peter's hand and pulls him up, keeping him above the water. Jesus looks at him and says, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" It's not a harsh scolding, more like a gentle nudge, like a teacher reminding a student they're capable of more. Together, they walk back to the boat, and the moment they climb in, the wind stops. The lake goes calm, like someone flipped a switch. The disciples are floored. They've seen Jesus do amazing things before, heal people, feed thousands. But this, walking on water, calming a storm, saving Peter from sinking, they fall to their knees, right there in the boat, and say, "Truly, you are the Son of God." It's a moment where they see Jesus for who he really is, not just a teacher, but someone with power over nature itself. So what's this story about? Sure, it's about a miracle, Jesus and Peter walking on water, the storm stopping cold. But it's also about us, about what it means to trust, when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. Peter's faith got him out of the boat, but his doubt pulled him under. And yet, even when he sank, Jesus was right there to lift him up. It's a reminder that faith isn't about being perfect. It is about taking that first step even when you're scared and trusting there's someone to catch you if you fall. The Sea of Galilee's still there today, and people still tell this story because it hits something deep. We all face storms, maybe not literal ones, but times when life feels overwhelming, when the waves are too big, and we're not sure we'll make it. Peter's story says, you don't have to stay in the boat. You can step out, take a risk, and trust that you're not alone, even if you stumble. And when the storm calms, you might just find yourself in awe, like those disciples, seeing the world a little differently. That's the story of Peter walking on water, a night when faith defied a storm. It's a story about courage, about doubt, and about a hand that's always there to pull you up. Thanks for listening. If this story hit home for you, maybe take a moment to think about your own storms and the steps you might take to walk through them.